Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Combat Mission Shock Force 2, a modern combat simulation from a hypothetical war between NATO and Syria in 2007, obviously pre-Syrian civil war. It assumes kind of like a Desert Storm type invasion of Syria, and we are playing the NATO DLC pack as the Germans. So we're invading from the Turkish border, driving south on Aleppo. We have fought the first battle and won the first battle of the invasion, taking a border town. Now we're moving on to clear a roadway that is important for our supply lines so that the enemy can't sort of pick off supply trucks with RPGs or anti-tank guns or anti-tank guided missiles, those kind of things. This is the second mission in the campaign, and with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. 0715, June 17th, 2008, 14 kilometers south of the Turkish border. The road we propose to run our supplies through runs past the small village of Chebrein. The reverse slope and the large expanse of concealing terrain beyond makes this the perfect spot for an anti-tank guided missile ambush. Clear Chebrein of enemy forces with priority given to destroying anti-tank guided missile teams in order to ensure the security of our supply routes. Our starting forces will consist of one Zug of Aufklärung and one Zug of Aufklärung. Okay. Basically, we're going to end up having a couple of scout vehicles, both armored and jeeps. We'll also have a fire support team. We will have a one Zug PZ-2000 155 millimeter artillery piece, self-propelled. We'll have one AH-64D Apache on call, and then later on, 20 minutes in, we'll get some mortars, and then 45 minutes in, we'll get a Tornado IDS. Additionally, in reinforcements, we'll get a Panzer Grenadier Company 10 minutes in. We'll get a group of 4 Panzers, or Leopard 2 A6s, 10 minutes in. And then 20 minutes in, we'll get a company headquarters. We'll also get another Panzer Grenadier Company. And then 30 minutes in, we'll get a third Panzer Grenadier Company, or platoon. Those each might be a platoon, so we might get 3 platoons. There are no regular enemy groups in the area. The area is expected to be defended by a small force of Fedayeen fighters equipped with anti-tank guided missile weapons and support weapons, as well as infantry support. We should attempt to locate as many enemy positions as we can safely do so, using artillery and air assets to dispose of any dangerous groups. Once the Panzer Grenadier companies have assembled, we should assault them and the town and clear the enemy forces from the farm buildings along the road. Rules of engagement are open. Chebrein has been abandoned of civilians, and so weapons use is unrestricted. So if we want to, we can carpet bomb the town. Seems unrealistic. I don't imagine there's any scenario where that would be okay, but it is the orders that we have. Okay, so we have 90 minutes to conduct the mission. This is our starting force. We've got an Aufklärung. It's a Fennec MG3, which is like it almost looks like a more armored Humvee type vehicle of a German design. We have a second Fennec, and then we have what looks like 3 Jeeps or Wolf MGs. The scout company is in the rear Wolf MG. We then have 2 scout units here of a driver and then 3 gunners or leaders in each of these, and then the 2 lead elements of the Aufklärung Fennec, 3 men, a driver, and it looks like, I'm assuming, a machine gunner, and then the same for the lead vehicle. If I open up, what happens? If I open up, this guy goes on the external machine gun. If I close up, he goes inside. I don't know if we can fire those guns when they're buttoned up or not. It does look like we have 5.56 ammo and 7.62 ammo. We also have Panzerfausts on board, so there must be some sort of remote weapons available to us on these vehicles. There's some sort of light here, the machine gun. 3 things in the back here. I don't know if that's smoke. But yeah, we'll have to see. It's a weird vehicle. Just a single driver spot up front. Oh, and we also have another Jeep over here, or MG3 over here with a artillery spotter on it. So this is the map that we have. We basically have to advance down this major roadway here. We have to clear these buildings along the side of the roadway, along the flank of each of these. And then what we have to do is we have to advance on the town, which is over here. So we have to advance across A wide open terrain. It doesn't look like there's a lot of cover down here to advance across. Additionally, this is like deep mud that vehicles can get stuck in, and so we're going to kind of be bottled down the main roadways, which also will prevent us from advancing along the flank too effectively either, given that these are all sort of mud patches or whatnot that'll prevent vehicles from moving off the main roads. One thing we could look at doing is trying to advance directly from the town, advance southward from the north, try and advance through these buildings over here. I don't know if there's any enemy troops in those buildings, but we don't really have the ability to deploy there, and we don't really have roadways to get there all that effectively. We might have a little bit of cover to move through. It does look like these are there's some vegetation here. So the right approach on this town may be to set up some troops in these buildings here, south, and then advance there, because I think that's a narrower gap, and we'll also have some cover from this shrubbery on our way up on the flank at least, and maybe some paths through some of this mud. Can't tell if that's more... Yeah, so it looks like we may have some paths through this mud. The problem is to get up there, there's no good roadways to get to that town. I mean, clearly it wants us to advance along the main roadway. I think what I'll do is I'm going to send some of these scouts, because scouts, I guess, take a little while to fully locate their, I guess, position. So we'll move some of these scouts up here on top of this ridgeline. Maybe they'll be able to see something from up there. Go ahead and put these guys here for our initial deployment. And then these armored vehicles will stay more on the road. And then our artillery spotter, I guess, stay here as well. I also wonder if advancing on this town rather than going on the road, if this shrubbery will give us enough cover to get into the town to maybe do some spotting of artillery. I'm not sure. The problem is we don't know where they are, but presumably some of these buildings are going to have, this is where you would likely put an anti-tank ambush. And I can't, none of these units are units that I can, pull troops out of. These are all, there's no squad to disembark from this vehicle. These are the crew and the recon all in one. So it's a recon vehicle with a crew, but there's no disembark option for anybody except for the observer section. Can I see line of sight here as I look to deploy? Is there an option for that? Doesn't look like it. The original combat mission games gave you the option to have line of sight. In any event, we're playing in real time, so I think what we'll do is we'll advance some of these jeeps up through this terrain. I'm a little bit uneasy of where these bad guys might be. We know that we have reinforcements coming in a few minutes. I don't want to get us destroyed by being overly aggressive. On the flip side is these recon vehicles are supposed to help us spot the enemy. So we'll see if we can pick anything up here. Nope, didn't want to do that. I meant to keep you in the vehicle. Click the wrong thing. Alright, so we'll leave them up there doing a little bit of scouting. My understanding is it takes a little bit of time for them to fully scout out what's ahead of them. They are up on a little bit of a rise, so maybe they can see from here, but maybe not, actually. If we go down to ground level, it doesn't look like they'll be able to see much. So let's move them forward just a little bit more so they can get a little bit of an overwatch. Trying to see, we kind of have to go a little bit further forward, I think, like as far forward as here to get a good line of sight, probably. What about the guys over here? Can they see anything? So probably a little bit forward as well. see from here? Maybe? We're going to move them forward just a tad more. In both cases. And we'll hold them there for the moment. There's got to be some guys in there. There's sort of a reverse slope there. All right. Meanwhile, seeing as we can't see a whole lot, we're going to move our observers forward here. I think it's safe to move them up here. Trying to be cautious here. We'll give them some time to scout out what they think's in front of them. If we take a look, radio engine wheels, defenses, not much. Part of me wonders if we shouldn't just, like, level some of these buildings. If we take a look, like, what are the likely spots for enemy troops? I would imagine maybe a 2-story building where they'd have a better line of sight. You know, most of the stuff is 1-story buildings here. If we look at the approach on the town itself, these 2 buildings are sort of in the middle of the way there, so there's probably something here in either one of these 2. So, I mean, we could start just calling Artie down. Is this a building over here, too? Yeah, we could put one there, too. We could start calling Artie down, just indiscriminately blowing stuff up. But that doesn't feel very, very Western. That doesn't feel very NATO. Okay. Is there anything that, like... I don't see any... I guess we could open up. I mean, I think they kind of are open, right? I don't think this is a buttoned-up unit. I guess that just puts the guy in the machine gun. Which seems like it would be a smart thing to do. Like, you guys should probably already be on the machine gun, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's no one along here, but we get our troops in 5 minutes anyway, so... How are they going to get in there? They're going to hop the wall? There's no way in, as best I can tell. There's a wall all around it. So... Oh, looks like they just hopped the wall. Reinforcements have arrived. Alright, so our artillery spotters are in those buildings. Meanwhile, it looks like we've got 4 tanks. Not exactly what I was looking for. I thought the infantry was supposed to show up now. Alright, so we got 4 tanks. We'll bring them up in support. Try and keep them a little bit off the main road. Get a little bit of elevation for that one. Get these guys moving forward here. I think these are different tanks than the tanks we fought with in the last battle. I could be wrong. But I think these units are elements of not... I can't remember the name of the 2 task forces, but I believe this is the light task force. So we have a task force basically of infantry, and then we have a task force of panzer grenadiers. I guess it could be the formation from the first battle. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But we basically have 2 battalions that the entire campaign is fought with, and all losses carry over. So... yes, the standard 2 tanks in front, 2 tanks in back strategy. With a little bit of a spearhead. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's put these guys on the roof. See if we see anything. Did any of those other troops arrive yet? No? Well, shit. Alright, spotters, if you go on the roof, do you detect anything? I just don't believe that this whole area is unoccupied. It can't be. They've got to be waiting in ambush in these next group of buildings. I mean, should we open up on one of the buildings and see if if anybody shoots back? We could do that. I don't want to waste too many rounds. I've only got 21 heat rounds. We'll shoot 2 rounds that way. Alright. 2 rounds into that building, no indication that there's enemy troops there. Could be over here too, but again, I don't want to... What if we shoot some machine gun rounds? Is that something shooting back? Or those are impacts of shells that we're hearing. Are my troops here yet? Where's my goddamn infantry? Well, you guys, scouting vehicles, you kind of suck. Because so far we've seen nothing. We'll keep inching along. I'll spend 30 minutes clearing this side of the map if I have to. You know, I just finished playing a tactical battle, not in the campaign, where I got absolutely lit up by advancing too aggressively into a town, so I think I might be overly cautious, but... Shit, shit, shit. Someone's shooting. Enemy troops. They are in this building. Okay. What am I doing? There's also enemy troops here. Smoke is shielding them from view. We'll fire 2 rounds. What something just shot off. I think that was an RPG that flew right by our tank. We'll fire 2 rounds into this. Ceasefire. I need infantry. I can't see with all this dust I'm kicking up. Our jeeps took a little bit of machine gun fire, but they seem okay now. Our recon cars are buttoned up now. Looks like we blew out the side of the wall here. I don't know if that's where they were or not. Okay. What did we see him from over here? I'm advancing on this side of the building. This may be foolish. Oh, shit. We're bogged. We drove into mud. The irony is trying to get out of the mud might actually... If we get immobilized, can our crew bail out? I don't know if they can get out. Looks like they got out. Oh, shit! Oh, no! We just took a... Ah! Where was that from? We just took a anti-tank gun round to one of our tanks. Looks like we lost the driver. Well, this guy's not going anywhere. You better just waste your ammo here. God damn it. We lost our fucking driver. Oh, we for sure know they're here. How do you have no line of sight on them? Nothing? Oh, you can call it here. 2 guns. Medium, short, general, immediate, confirmed. Well, we just lost a tank immobilized. I guess the good thing is it wasn't destroyed. They probably took a track out and took the driver out. Someone is shooting something that might be able to take out our tanks. I'm not sure where they're shooting it from. It came from over in this direction. Can we use the other battery here? Looks like we got our mortars, by the way. Okay, so our reinforcements have arrived. So we're going to call in artillery. We've got an hour left. We haven't even really started clearing this terrain. But we're calling in artillery. Let's move our vehicles up here. Looks like we've got APCs. I could just shift and control all of them at once, but... Alright, so our half tracks are moving. God, I love the desert. Look at that. Just look at it. I wish they were moving a little faster. I could make them go a little faster, but... Gotta love the dust clouds they're kicking up behind them. Mechanized formations on the move in the desert. Hopefully our tank isn't permanently... Like, isn't a permanent loss. Given that it's been immobilized, but you can repair a track. I'm more worried about whether whether we can repair the get a new driver. Holy shit, that's too close. We just destroyed our own vehicle with friendly fire. We're way too close, apparently. That was a ranging shot and came in way short. They were also the ones calling it in. They called it in on themselves. Oh, man. Bad job, dudes. Where is this round coming in? Those guys are coming in awfully close. So there's no way this guy's still calling an arty, is he? He's just called in it himself. All right, there. Who's someone shooting at somebody? Somebody's shooting at the Jeep. Why is there smoke over here? I didn't fire smoke down that way. That artillery's way off target. No shit, he's rattled. Alright, so we've got apparently some indication there's enemy troops over here, too. So maybe we just take both these houses out. The artillery's coming down. Still ranging shots. I don't know how these guys are. Alright, so the artillery's coming in now. Both these batteries are firing for effect. Medium level intensity, short duration bombardment. The rounds should be coming in soon. Once they're in, then we'll start advancing our infantry back here. You can hear the shells coming in. That spotter's rounds are coming in directly on target on that building that we had already kind of hit with tank fire. There goes the building. It's destroyed. So if there's any troops left in there, they're probably goners. Alright, so our other guy just took out the roofs of these two buildings. It was like they deliberately were like, we're going to hit this roof and now this roof, and then we just took out this building too. Alright, so that should be the end of their missions. They both fired 20 rounds by the looks of it. Unfortunately, those are probably the best follow-on... Are we still shooting? No, they're just rounds incoming. Alright, you move here onto the roof. We'll see what we can see. We'll move our APCs forward now, I think. I don't want to get them too far forward and shot to pieces, but I also do want to leverage their speed a little bit. I don't want my troops legging it out for miles on end if they don't have to be. We lost a marauder? To what? Did we lose the whole squad of troops that was inside of him? What hit these guys back here? That's the marauder crew. God damn it. This is not going according to plan. I mean, I'm going conservative. I mean, you can see why I'm going conservative here. I hope we haven't already lost like 10 casualties. We lost one tank immobilized. We blew up our own truck. And that's where we're going to leave it, guys. We're about 30 minutes into the battle. It's a hour-and-a-half long battle, so this will probably be 3 parts. I know the beginnings of these are not always super exciting. I was trying to play really cautious because I've had some bad experiences with rushing into cities, as I'm sure a lot of the U.S. military could attest to. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you want to see more. Obviously, we'll see at least the next 3 to see the remainder of this battle. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.